So, do you have a bad job you had? Okay, so speaking of old men, no one was talking about that
except for us.
Yeah. Okay, so I saw one of you commented being like, what was it like working in a private equity firm? And I'm actually so glad you talked about that. Have you ever
Was
worked?
it like, no, but have you, but have you
ever worked?
Have I ever worked? I worked for pennies and peanuts and like pencil eraser shavings. That's what I've worked for a career that does nothing but rob me of my peace.
Okay, but you're hot, so.
And even that's not all the way there.
Yes, it is!
This is about you.
You're the hottest girl I know.
You really know me.
So, okay, what is this? Literally pity party of the year. She's a baddie, and I know you all know it. So stop. Okay, now I'm getting mad.
Okay, don't hit me.
But basically,
but what happened at the firm?
All you need to know is that I worked at this private equity firm, and it was like such a joke. And I've made a video about this before, this private equity firm, and all these people were like, "You should have sued your boss for sexual harassment." But
it was giving Mad Men.
Yeah, I'd never seen that. It's not bad.
No, it's actually not.
But basically,
you were living it. You didn't have to see it.
Like, the company was about to end. Also, I took like 3-hour lunch breaks. I would literally
do that when I worked at a coffee shop.
Yeah. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah. And that's an order up.
But like, wait, but how were you the only one working there, or like?
Oh no, there's like a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I got.
I would like go out to lunch with my friend, then I would go to an AA meeting, and then I would like do all these things in the middle of the day, and I was like, yes, getting paid. So that's why I was like, and I admitted that openly. So like, and he wasn't even okay. The thing about I want to make this clear. My boss did not like. He was inappropriate and like
he would just jerk off.
And it's like he was about to retire, and also like it's not like it made me uncomfortable. I was just like, oh, fuck off, you old fuck. Like it was like that. But I stand with everyone that's been sexually harassed. Okay.
So it did get weird. I'll let you guys figure out what part.
I'm cutting that out. It's never. I'm not saying his behavior was okay at all. It just like he was so like small and annoying. I was just like, shut the fuck up. And then I would take my 3-hour lunch break. But anyways, he like came up to me one day.
Ew.
And I was like,
already disgusted.
And he was like, hey, what's your name? And it was like, I was the receptionist. And he was like, it was like a little too horny. And then he was like, I was like, oh, what's your email? I gotta send you something. And he goes, Golden Showers 22. And I was like. And I was like, why wouldn't you say 69?
No, that's actually
crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, he told me about his sugar baby, and he was like, I want you to be my sugar baby. Oy. But then I was like, would I have to touch you? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Like,
that's so funny, Kate.
I could not touch him. But he was like, you could make 1K a week. And I made 17 an hour. So I was like, oh no, he said 1K a day. So for a second I was like, then I was like, no, I can't. It's crime against my spirit. And he would like text me, email me being like, just got out of the gym. I'm so sweaty right now. And
I got a big old full sack of pee-pee.
But the vice president of the company was so hot, and I was like, can you please set me up with him? And he was like, what's crazy is like, he was like, he would totally hook up with you. He likes bigger women. And I was like, okay. Feels like you're attacking me. It was a fucking mess. It was a mess. I was the only girl working there, and you know, as a Leo, I loved that. And it was a private equity firm. I would wear like crop tops and like short skirts, and like, it was a weird era. I
almost just sounded like my grandma. I'd be like, what you were asking for? Yes, sugar. Oh my God.
It was like, I was newly sober, so I was like acting out too. Cause like when you get sober, you're like, I gotta act out. So I was just like being kind of flirty. It was a mess. It was a mess.
I'm gonna be honest, that's a wretched story. I only ever want to hear your acapella story. I don't ever want to hear about
I know, it's the least wholesome story. Listen, I was newly sober. I was working at a private equity firm with all guys.
Well, you're pushing me to drink, so how about that? Because damn bitch, that's crazy. It just, the story goes from like bad to worse, bitch.
I literally thought you were gonna be like, oh my God, me too. Like, I did the same thing. So if you work at a private equity firm, don't do what I did. Just don't. Why are you freaked out?
No, because I'm freaked out because you're literally like getting like a hot flash right now thinking about the old glory hole days. I can't.
I didn't hook up with any of them.
I know.
I didn't hook up with him. He literally was like, will you be my sugar baby? And I was like, I simply can't. Like, I don't want that.
Like, everything about this is making me get from,
it's so New York.
I'm, like, bouncing between mad and sad.
No, because you're kind of horny.
No! Yeah, for death. Okay. See, that's wild. I used to work at not a startup, but I worked for this cool jazzy company. Okay, it was a ticketing company, and I'd have to like deal with advertising on. I had like the login to certain comedians' Twitters, and I would like and then also for like our Twitter account, and we would just like tweet things like ticket links and this and that, and I didn't really know what I was doing because I was like a literal shithead intern. Period. And then I did a lot of Molly on like a Tuesday night, as you do. It was my first time doing Molly, and then I didn't go to work for 3 days because I had such a bad hangover. I was like half dead in my bed. No, actually, because I mixed some. I made a little cocktail of sorts. Like
she's a scientist.
Molly, alcohol, and then back in the day I did a lot of Klonopin, so I'm pretty sure I was like.
Who are you?
A reformed woman. But anyway, so then I didn't wake up for like 3 days. And it was like really bad. And then I like tried to make up some lie, and then the girl was like, yeah, like just, and by the way, the girl was like actually like my friend I was working for, who like helped give me this. So the girl, yeah, so shout out to her.
Shout out!
And that's really that.
That's beautiful.
Rock stars have kidnapped my son.
You've never dated a boss or like gotten flirty with a boss? That's like my favorite.
I mean, honey, I was a restaurant girl, so like I was always working in restaurants.
Oh, so you're always hooking up.
So I was always interesting. One time, yes, one time I did hook up with a line cook. He was so hot, so much shorter than me.
How was it?
He was like 5 feet tall.
Hot.
I know. I would always hook up with my coworkers.
Yeah, that's very restaurant.
Because like, I'm sorry, but what's the point of working in a restaurant? Like, I have some friends now, like some younger friends I met from improv. So what if I died? But anyway, and I'm always asking them, I'm like, are you guys hooking up with your coworkers? They're like, no. And I'm like, you guys are doing your 20s wrong.
Yeah, for real.
Like, what's the point of doing that? I'm sorry, but like actually, no, but also, keep in mind I did have a drinking problem because I would literally show up to work. I would drink at my apartment, take an Uber to work. I would start drinking before, and don't worry, I would do this with like anything. And then I would start drinking before the shift with my coworkers. And then we had a shift drink, had to make it strong so it could last out, you know. And then a lot of times, especially towards the end, I wouldn't even remember leaving. And I was like dealing with people's food.
What?
Yeah, oh my God.
Bitch, okay, that's a different, so when you were blackout, people couldn't tell.
They couldn't tell because it's just me like this, except I'm like a little bit louder. So it's like, hey Kate, what's up? Yeah.
That was my dream. When I was blackout, it was like a path of destruction. Like everybody, I would have been like falling over and like, it just like, that's crazy. I mean, always jealous of the girls that could black out and no one knew.
But it's dangerous though,
because
I get myself into very sticky situations. Like one time, okay, it was kind of dark, but well, we can see. But one time I woke, I was supposed to, okay, so I worked a shift at my restaurant job, and I split a bottle of wine with one of my coworkers. We were wine tasting. We had mandatory wine tasting, and so we all just drank bottles and bottles and bottles of wine. So like between us, yeah. Anyways, then I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have had all that red wine. I'm feeling so tired. So then the bartender I was hooking up with was like, oh, here's an espresso martini. Matter of fact, here's 2. And I go, great. So I black out right as the shift is starting. Oh my God. Don't worry about that. And the morning after, I was supposed to go up to San Francisco because I had like a weekend full of shows, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so I wake up, so I don't remember leaving. And I wake up and I check my phone and I have all these missed calls. Like Bryce is calling me, my friend Matthew Torkelson, who's like a hilarious comic, but he's trying to pick me. I know, literally shout out to Matt, but he's trying to pick me up. And like my mom's calling me, and then I have this random number in my phone, and apparently I hooked up with some random person. I don't even know the gender. I just know that they were on my phone. They were like, hey, like, are you good? Like, you kind of just like left like a bat out of hell. Like, are you good? And I was like, what the fuck? Damn. Yeah. And then my front door, well, because I lived in a studio apartment, so the door to my studio was completely open.
Oh my God, that's so scary. That shit, I would do that shit all the time when I was blackout. And I was like, how was I not robbed and killed?
No, I know. Sorry, I feel like I just talked so much, my bad, but.
No, please, I'm actually begging. So this is why we're sober now.
Yeah, no, I like literally
But even when I'm sober, I make horrible decisions, so I actually don't know what the moral of that story was, but.
Do you sometimes get like flashbacks to the person you used to be?
Yes, it's terrifying.
I feel mortified.
So my first year of sobriety, I felt pretty mortified, but now I'm like totally over it. Like literally we saw a guy tonight that from my college.
Yes!
And like I hooked up with him. He was really hot. I hooked up with him in college. But he saw me like do horrifying things. But it didn't even like cross my mind. I was like, oh my god, hey, we hooked up at college. But
everyone grows up at the end of the day.
Yeah, but my first year of sobriety, I'd like go to bed and be like, I can't believe I did that. But now I'm like, okay, and I'm different now.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that person. I'm so far away from her. But low-key, I sometimes still forget like that I can drive. I'm always like, fuck, who's gonna be the DD tonight? And I'm like, oh wait, it's me.
That is hilarious.
I'm sober 4 years.
That's so funny.
But
I guess it's me. We're learning new coping mechanisms.
All you need to know is we are so far from perfect.
Yeah.
But we're also perfect.
And that's actually really complex.
So basically, check out Parallel Play. We just uploaded a new video. HARPER-ROSES channel is gonna be in the description. Give her a subscribe and yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about.
It's Scissory.
They know I'm the
Yes.
Love
ya!
You know I am that girl. Bitch, don't kiss and tell. It's love for ATL.